It's a great crowd. I'm really excited to be here today. It's gonna be awesome. I'm so pumped up. 60 minutes changed the way that I communicate and the way that I build high trust relationships. I realized that success in life is determined by our ability to communicate and build high trust relationships. In my world, that's often life or death. But make no mistake, effective communication is the linchpin skill to success in medicine, in business, and in your personal life.
His thought-provoking, practical techniques make any leader a better communicator. The feedback was so superb, we asked him to speak again this year. Yep, I'm a big fan of Dr. TonyOrsini.
I watched my mentor at the pinnacle of his career, when the family needed him the most, fail. He let the family down, and quite frankly, he let himself down, and he knew it. Now, I had received phone calls like this many times before, but little did I know that this one was going to change my life forever. The transport team and I jumped into the ambulance. We went across the bridge to the transferring hospital to find a critically ill baby desperately clinging to life. Despite all of our efforts, the baby died. This kind, compassionate doctor, whom I'd grown to admire, simply blurted out, "My name's Dr. Cunningham, and your baby's dead." And he grabbed me by my lapel, and he pulled me in real close. And he said to me in a firm voice, he said, "Do you see what I just did? Don't ever do that." That night profoundly changed me. Until that moment, I was solely focused on being clinically perfect. But what I was missing was the importance of the human connection. Communication is no longer a soft skill. It's the most critical skill and competency that we have today. And it's not just about communicating during times of uncertainty or crisis. If you want to have a high-growth, high-performing organization that attracts and retains talent, effective communication of your leaders is a core competency. It turns out that the same communication techniques that are required for a physician to break bad news in the most compassionate and effective manner are the same communication techniques that the best managers and leaders use to establish loyalty, build trust, and navigate the difficult conversations that occur in the workforce. The Great Resignation is a crisis in leadership, and more specifically in our ability to connect, communicate, and influence, especially in times of uncertainty and crisis. What my research revealed is that we are all dramatically underprepared to have conversations which are critical to being an effective physician and an effective leader. But the good news is, this can be taught. The first insight of good communication is understanding that how we deliver the news is just as important as the words we say. We often enter too many conversations without a plan. Take a breath before you have that critical conversation and think about what you want to say and how you want to say it. Remember, it's all in the delivery. The next time you have a critical conversation, I invite you to audit the nonverbal communication that's in the room. Take an inventory of your eye contact, the way you're seated, how you hold your hands. But just as important, I'd like you to monitor the other person's body language. See how they respond to what you're saying. Insight number 2, it's hard to fire your best friend. My mother used to tell me when I was growing up, "Anthony, it's hard to fire your best friend." No matter how old I got or how successful I became, she constantly reminded me, "Anthony, it's hard to fire your best friend." I used to think, why is my mother so afraid that I'm going to get fired all the time? The best leaders are able to connect and relate and show their vulnerabilities. It is my hope and what's in my heart why I do this important research and why I'm speaking with you today is that you will raise your awareness become a more conscious communicator. Embrace these 4 insights and have a meaningful impact on your team, your business, and the ones that you love. Thank you.